Hi there, you're welcome to the Josephine Ogenekere show. All right, so we're continuing with the multiplication series. We've come a long way, and of course, we have just one more week remaining after this week. So, in the process of talking about multiplication, we talked about the fact that anything that you multiply by zero, or anytime you multiply anything by zero, what you have is zero. So, if you don't have a vision, you cannot multiply. Okay, so we learned that we have to have a vision, we have to know the right process, systems, and strategies to be able to include in making sure that that vision becomes able to multiply. All right, we talked about the fact that if you multiply anything by one, that's by yourself, you will not achieve so much. In fact, you will achieve the same thing that you multiply it by. But we talked about the fact that if we multiply by two or three or higher numbers, we can get a geometric increase or an exponential increase. All right, so today we're going to talk about sales. Okay, so when growing up, we realized that we had conversations with our parents, and a time will come when our parents will be like, I want this done. And you're saying, okay, mommy, if you want me to do it, why don't you do this for me? Or vice versa. Okay, so we want something from our parents. We go to them, we say, this is what I want. And they say, okay, this is what you're going to do to make sure you get that. Like, I want a dress. And my mom says, okay, if you pass your exam, if you come out tops, you get a dress. And I'm saying, okay. So I pass my exams, and at the end of the day, I get my dress. So what has happened? The process of sales has taken place. Okay, so we say sales is very important in family, in business, and also in ministry. So there's no how you can make sales without making sure that some things are not put in place. All right, so I'll use an example of my lipstick. All right, so I'm trying to sell this lipstick. I'm trying to make sure that something comes out of the lipstick. I'm trying to multiply my money. I make it beautiful. I do a lot of adverts and all of that. But until something comes out, until I get something out, until I get money for all the efforts I've made in making sure that this comes to your face, I have not made sales. All right. So that brings us to defining or explaining the difference between sales and marketing. So, marketing is being able to take out your products, make it colorful, make it brilliant, make everybody know that it exists. Okay, but sales happens when you are able to actually get money from that product. All right, so I'm able to actually sell when money comes in my hand. So I will say I have sold when, after doing everything I've done, money comes into my hand. So that's basically what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so how do we sell? There are different ways of selling. There's the traditional way of selling, the way we go. When we're younger, I lived in Festac, and would have hawkers come to us. You could virtually cook whatever it is just by being in your house. So the meat seller will pass by, and he'll say obe, and then of course would get the meat. Would The fish seller will come. So has they call her Eleja. She'll come, she'll sell. Now that's what happens in Lagos, Nigeria, where I grew up. Everything has a way of coming to you. All right. Now imagine if those people that sold those things sat back in their houses and they didn't make a contact with us. Somehow we wouldn't have been able to buy those things, and they wouldn't have been able to make sales. So you have a product, whatever you do, you must be able to take your product out there. All right. Okay, so first things first, get this clear. Most times when you come up with a new product, your clients are not your parents, your siblings, or your friends. In fact, those ones, they will despise your product and say, okay, no problem. The thing about that is as a result of overfamiliarity. So you're looking for how to sell certain things. Sometimes don't start by selling it to your people out there. All right. Start by going out. Okay, first of all, so that's the traditional explanation. The second way to sell, and it's a way that is trending, is the digital marketing. All right, so digital marketing has a lot of aspects to it. But just before I begin to explain it fully, I want to also make you know that there are quite a lot of people that will not sell their products online. So whether you like it or not, as you're making sure you're getting digital marketing skills, also get traditional selling skills. All right. The Igbo man would always stay in Alaba International Market, and he will always sell his goods. Okay, so he will go to China, he'll order them, he'll bring them. The woman that sells foodstuff in K2 Markets, Lagos, Nigeria, would always go there. Okay, so there are some things that would not sell online. Okay, unless someone like me decides, okay, I want to package those things and then give it out there as a delivery company. Okay, and then it works that way. But the truth is that, in as much as you're mastering digital marketing skills, you must also master traditional skills. All right. So things like television will never go out of fashion. A radio will never go out of fashion. Okay. So these are main things that will never go out of fashion. Of course, they're part of media. Well, now let's talk about social media marketing. There are different aspects of marketing on social media. Okay. So first things first, you have a website. Fantastic. And it's amazing how that for about 5,000 naira you can actually have a website. So it's not as difficult as it used to be those days when we tried to build websites and we'll be charged about 200,000 naira just to build a website. With as little as 5,000 naira, you have a website of your own. All right. Next thing, we have the social media, things like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, all of that. Those methods are fantastic if you know how it works. All right. So just having a Facebook page has a way of making sure that whatever product you have, a lot of people know about it. And the more people know about the products that you have, the more possibility for sales. I use WhatsApp, for example. There are times when I use WhatsApp to market my products and I get, sales. Facebook, fantastic. I go on Facebook, I use my Facebook page. There was a time I had a program. It was a program. It was a program for basically Christians. And I just went, did an ad, and it was amazing how the responses we got from that. All right. So now think about the effect on marketing your personal products. So if you know how it works, definitely you'll be amazed at how much sales you'll make. Then we also have things like the search engine optimization. So that we know that you put your product out there. So what happens is that someone tries to Google whatever it is, and then your product just comes out first because you've paid for it. Then of course there's the pop-ups, the one that you're going through something and all of a sudden an advert just pops up. I can tell the number of things I've been able to do as a result of those pop-ups. I was able to actually buy things as a result of those pop-ups. So it's important. Finally, the email is another fantastic way. So someone goes to your website, someone contacts you. It's okay to keep their email addresses to get back to them. Why are you getting back to them? Because they may need your product at some point. So to wrap it up, just know that if people don't know that your product exists, how can they buy? How can they patronize you? So the more people you are able to convince are the people that you bring in as, your clients. But first of all, even before the convincing, you need to take your product out there. Your product must be out there. So you either want to do the traditional means by going out, selling it, or you want to do it the digital way, which is one fantastic way if it has to do with some kind of products. All right. But most importantly, the content you put out is as important as is as important as your strategy for sales. So I want to sell something. I put out certain contents. It will either attract people to me or it will deflect them from me. So spend a lot of time developing yourself, build your content, consistently put out the content, let people know that this is what you do. All right. So that will be all for now. We would have the grand finale by next week. We'll wrap it all up. And of course, we're going to be praying for people's families, businesses, and ministries. And by the grace of God, as we step into the month of June, multiplication is what we'll experience in the name of Jesus. So have a fabulous, fabulous time. It's still me, Josephine Ogeneke Ogufere, and this is the Josephine Ogeneke Ogufere Show. And of course, this is the multiplication series. I can't wait to meet you next week. You could share the video, you could like it, you could subscribe. Of course, there's a notification button just in case you need to hear it or you need to hear when our new episodes come out. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful week ahead. God bless you.